And needless to say, it's pretty cringe. But it got me fascinated. Why do people think it's so bad? Yeah, sure, it's pretty cringe, but it's definitely not the worst ad in history. Why are people making this look like it's the worst thing they've ever seen? Well, I did some digging around some forums, and asked around to try and get some answers. Nothing really came up, except for one post that I found on some forum. The post came from a guest account, so I don't know about any other posts they made. They laid out this theory they had, and it's pretty unnerving. He called it Death. And it basically states that all the characters in the ad are dead. Some sort of purgatory. The theory goes a little something like this. Two sushi eaters named Mark Joss and Wanda Tucky were married couple. They were happily married together in their late 20s. They had a simple flat in New York City and were living a decent life. Wanda was at a restaurant and Mark was married. Everything was going pretty well until it got dark Friday night. After going out to a smoky restaurant and bar hopping for a while, they decided to walk home instead of going to a cab or an Uber. They were walking down the sidewalk with no one else in sight. Unfortunately for them, this would be their last night together. As unbeknownst to them, they had wandered in gang territory. The men, approximately 4 of them, jumped out from the dark alleyway and gunned them down. Wanda died, but Mark somehow survived, and that was how police were called that night, and how the police found out it was about 4 men. He was able to call them from his cell phone. Mark would be rushed to the hospital, but died 3 days after, due to the complications from the incident, as doctors were unable to stop the internal bleeding. Living in her late 30s. She was married to a man named David Caper. They were living their relatively quiet lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Nancy was a cashier at her supermarket. Was a car mechanic. All was going well until he started to notice. David would be on his phone constantly, barely paying attention to the man. Every time David saw David, he would either be on his phone or putting his phone away quickly. One day, on a Wednesday, Nancy had just woken up. David had already gone to work when she noticed that he had left his phone on his nightstand. Thinking that she could return it to him, she picked it up and found something peculiar. David had 3 text messages, all from this girl named Sandy. Nancy brushed it off, thinking it was a friend from work. When David got home, she asked David about Sandy. David got a bit nervous and said that it was a friend from work. However, Nancy could realize something was wrong. She kept pressuring him to tell the truth, and finally he gave in and told Nancy that Sandy was his mistress and had been going behind her back for the past 3 months. Nancy got upset and kicked David out of the house that night, and he went to go spend the night at Sandy's house. The next few months were good in Nancy's course, and David beat his friends out of the house. Nancy fell into a deep depression after David left. She started to feel insecure about herself, so she started to eat a lot for the next few months. 5 months after she divorced David, Nancy was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and died of complications. Natalie Stanley was a teacher in Salt Lake City, Utah. She loved her students and taught 3rd grade math at Michael Ryan's elementary school. She was married to Matthew Stonder, who worked at a local fast food chicken restaurant. The 2 had a 2-room apartment that was done well. That was until Natalie became pregnant. As they were going to have a new addition, they decided to move into this 3-bedroom Natalie and Matthew were excited for the baby's life, mainly because Natalie has always been wanting children of her own. Finally, she was going to have one. As her bones started to grow, of course, more of the children in her class started to realize and ask questions. Eventually, around the time of her being 4 months pregnant, she announced to the class that she was pregnant. Of course, the children asked more questions, and she answered all of them. On Saturday afternoon, Then she felt a wet, warm patch on the couch. At first she thought she would kill herself. But when she looked down, rather, saw the blood. Natalie screamed and Matthew came rushing down the upstairs. Shrieked after seeing the patch of blood on the couch, conjuring on the floor. He took Natalie and put her in the car and started driving to the hospital. He was going down the road quite fast. He ran a stop sign. Another car on the passenger side struck the car, which caused it to go flying to the corner of the road. The person in the other car survived, but the team did not go lucky. The team were rushed to the hospital, and Matthew survived as he had a broken pelvis leg. Natalie, on the other hand, died on impact. As soon as the car hit, her spine practically split in two, which killed her instantly. Even worse, doctors were unable to save the unborn baby as it did and died. Doctors confirmed that shortly before Natalie's death that she had suffered a stillbirth. Matthew fell into a depression after this. He stopped showing up to work and was eventually fired by the restaurant. He fell into a pit of alcoholism, a pit that he would eventually succumb to when he took his own life nearly 5 months after the crash. Now you're probably thinking, how does the chicken sandwich man fit into this? Well, the man is Matthew Saunders. I'll explain this now. The sushi that Mark and Wanda are eating represent the sushi restaurant that they ate at shortly before they went bar hopping. The salad that Nancy is eating represents her diabetics as she is trying to lose weight now that she has died, afraid that she would succumb to the same fate in the afterlife if she did not change her diet. The iced coffee Natalie is drinking represents her favorite drink, an iced mocha latte. The chicken sandwich Matthew is holding represents the place he worked at. Now for the little boy. It is unknown definitively how he fits into this. However, the poster speculated that he and Natalie were Matthew.